well, so you all can see it. So welcome, guys, to our presentation today. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Wendy Delgado, for those of you who don't know me. I'm originally an oral surgeon. I have a master's degree in cosmetic dentistry, and I'm also a professional opera singer. I actually got to study in Italy for a few years, and I graduated, and that's why I actually can speak Italian, and that's what led me to get to know this project a few weeks ago. I'm an international certified speaker as well. I'm a professional investor and a professional networker. And in the last company that I worked, we built a network of almost 20,000 people in 80 different countries around the world. And that's exactly where I met our CEO, Francesco Cannone, who is the creator of this project called Evodeaf. And the name of our company comes from two words, which is evolution and deaf. Basically, we are creating something that is going to change the way that we can communicate with people, and you are going to see why. But so the thing is that Francesco and this company where we were working, he was one of the strongest leaders in Italy. And he was doing such a great job that the company charged him of creating all the content and everything that had to do with the community of deaf people. And so you can imagine, if you are a person who is blessed like me and Francesco, and you can hear well, how challenging it is, because if you don't speak sign language, how do you communicate with a deaf person? And so that's exactly what happened. It turns out that the company sent Francesco to a city where he needed to make a financial education course. It was like a seminar. And this little lady that you are seeing on the screen is Mrs. Anna. And Anna is a person who immigrated years ago from Ukraine, and she is deaf. So she was there to attend the course. And as Francesco says us in his own words, Anna was ready to be her student, but he was not ready to be his teacher. So it was really funny, because so every time they wanted to communicate, they couldn't do it unless they had an interpreter. And so when their friendship started growing, they were like, well, we need to do something to communicate between us without having to use an interpreter, because I don't know if you know, anyways, interpreters are really expensive. So they started to look for any kind of technology that they could leverage and use to basically communicate between them. And that's when they basically found nothing and decided that they were going to create their own technology. And that's when our company's mission was born, because what basically we're looking for is to create accessibility for the deaf community. We basically want to offer them the possibility of having a quote unquote normal life, just like we do. And for that, we are creating partnerships with organizations and associations at a global level, so we can provide them with all kinds of services: healthcare, education, interpretation, economic support, and we're going to be creating also the world's largest support team for the deaf community. And by that, for that, we're going to be using what you see on the screen, which is basically artificial intelligence. Those little red dots and the green lines that you are seeing on Francesco's face and body are basically reading his movements. And so by reading his movements, they can determine what signs he's doing with his hands and body, and that is going to interpret that and translate it into spoken language and vice versa. So we are creating literally the first ever intelligent avatar to translate from spoken language into sign language and vice versa. So we have no competition whatsoever. We are the only company in the world doing a project like such. And so the cool thing is that we're not only going to build an avatar, there's many projects also that make part of our company. So besides doing the avatar, we're going to create WikiSign, which is basically, I'm pretty sure you've heard about Wikipedia, which is the biggest online encyclopedia in the world. We're going to create WikiSign, which is the biggest encyclopedia for sign language, and we're going to create that in starting with 6 languages. Let me mute your microphones, guys, because someone's got it open. There you go. And so we're going to create also a OCR scan, which is basically people is going to have the opportunity to scan documents and images, and then the avatar is going to pop up and tell them what it is that they're seeing in this document or image. Then we're going to have an Evodeaf chat, which is basically a chat for deaf people. Then we are going to create our app for the car, which is something that is not only really cool, but also I think it's very necessary. Have you ever thought, how does a person with a hearing impairment know that there's an emergency car behind them or coming close? It's really hard for them to tell, and unless they really have a person like knocking on their window saying, hey, there's an emergency vehicle coming, you need to move your car. So these can actually save them from potential dangerous situations, because what's going to happen is when the avatar senses that there's a siren coming, basically it starts blinking the lights, and the avatar then pops up and tell the person, you know, hey, there's an emergency vehicle coming, beware, you need to move your car. So that's a really cool app. Then we're gonna have a kids section, and may I say grown-up kids as well section, because this is going to be a gaming section where people is going to be able to learn sign language by playing, basically. And so it's really cool because we're also going to be able to exchange those coins for real money. And so that's really cool. We're going to have a commercial app. So basically what that means is that we have an interactive map where all the businesses that have our app are going to be shown in these maps. So let's say a deaf person wants to go to a museum. And so if they check on the map and there's 3 museums in the area, but only one of them has the app, then guess where the deaf person is going to go? Because what's going to happen is that inside the museum, there's going to be QR codes besides everything that you're seeing, any picture, painting, photography, sculpture, whatever it is that you're seeing. So by scanning this QR code, the person is going to be able to know what it is that they're seeing, because the avatar is going to pop up and tell them in sign language what it is that is in front of them. So that's really cool. And we're basically going to have the opportunity to quote unquote personalize every app for every business or every institution, because of course it's not the same technical language that we're going to have to program our avatar for a hospital, for a bank, or for an elementary school. So that's something really cool that we have the ability to do. And of course, we're going to have a support call center, which is really cool because it's actually a video call center. It's going to work 24/7, and that way we're going to provide people with jobs and opportunities that they can, basically develop their career in our company. So what is the potential market for our product? So not only private users like me and you, in our Spanish team, we have a lot of people already approaching us because they're happy to be a part of these project, because they have someone with a hearing impairment in their families or in their circle of friends. So there's people saying, hey, doctor, you know what, this is such a cool project, and I really want to be a part of it, because turns out that my niece is a person with a hearing disability, or my grandson, or a friend of mine. So we are going to be able to download these apps and communicate with them in a better way. So that's really cool. But also corporate users, you can basically sell this product to any company out there that you can think of: training companies, communication companies, marketing companies, MLM companies, just name it. Basically, any business needs our avatar. Professional users like medical practices, associations, research studies, lawyers, anyone that is basically, guys, what I tell people is wherever there is people, then you can use our app, because you can always have the chance for deaf people to call deaf person to approach the business, right? And institutional users. And as I speak, there's a lot of institutional institutions in Italy that are actually after Francesco, saying, hey, when is your avatar going to be ready? Because we really want to implement your avatar in our institution. And I'm talking about municipalities, schools, universities, banks. As I said, guys, just name it. This is something that any institution, any company out there can use. And so what you were seeing on the screen is actually one of our first demos of the avatar. And it's really cool because as you can see, there's a little subtitle on the lower part. And what it's doing, it's basically reading whatever says on the subtitle, and then it changes it to sign language so that the deaf person can tell what it is that it's saying. And really, we have a great market. As of right now, 5% of the population worldwide is deaf, and that population is increasing. And we're going to see some numbers that are, I don't want to use the word scary, but it's something that we should really be paying attention to, because so the World Health Organization is saying that in 30 years, the 1/3 of the population is going to be deaf. So we really need to, as I tell my Spanish speaking community, this is the time where we really need to pay attention to these kind of projects, because as I speak, we're all growing old, right, guys? So right now is the time where we should be supporting these kind of projects. So one of the things that most amazes people, including me, is the fact that I get invitations on a daily basis for all kind of projects, crypto coins projects, Bitcoin platforms, MLM products, metaverse, like anything you can think of. I've gotten an invitation to be a part of, buy and selling gold opportunities, all kind of crazy stuff. But guys, to be honest, it's been 1.5 years since I left the last company that I was working with, and I was so done with the industry. I didn't want to, like, people send me these invitations, and to be honest, like, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I don't want to know anything about it anymore. Like, I wouldn't even open the videos or anything. And so guess what happened when I got introduced to this opportunity? Exactly the same. I didn't want to know about it. I had Francesco and Maurizio, who is my upline, sending me messages. Hey, Wendy, take a look at this project. Hey, Wendy, we're doing something really cool. Hey, Wendy, would you watch this video? Hey, Wendy, see this thing? And like, I was like, guys, so incredibly rude because I wouldn't even open their stuff. Like I was like, no, this is another more project like the rest of all of them. And like I was like, no, 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 no. And so Mauricio did such a great job because he was always hammering in the fact like, Wendy, you should watch this video. Wendy, did you watch the video that I sent you? Wendy, have you watched the video? And so I finally decided like, okay, I'm going to open the video so that I can watch it and tell this guy with all property why I won't be a part of it. And so, guys, guess what happened? So God operates in mysterious ways. And the minute I opened that video and the minute I saw what it was about, I completely fell in love with this project because one of the things that you're going to see now is, yes, it's a great opportunity for people to make money and for people to capitalize. But the special thing about this project is that it's just not only a money-making machine, like all 99% of the projects out there. Yeah, you invite people and you receive a commission or a referral fee or whatever, but there's nothing behind the project but the scope of making money. And so what made me fall in love with this project is that it is not only a great opportunity for people to capitalize money, but it has a crazy, beautiful humanitarian cause behind it, which is the one that I just explained you. But so now we're going to see how you guys can benefit from being a part of our community. So one of the things that we created is we created an NFT. So the crypto world and stuff right now, it's like a boom that has already passed a little bit. And right now what is going on really strong in the market are NFTs. So if this is the first time that you hear about an NFT, all you need to know, it's something really easy. It's a token that proves ownership and authenticity of a digital asset. And I'm going to repeat these two words because you really need to pay attention to these two words, which is it proves ownership and authenticity, okay? Basically, when you participate from our project and you get our tokens, you are becoming a co-owner of whatever it is that we're creating in our company. You're becoming a co-owner of our intellectual property and authenticity, because for you to have a company with an NFT, NFTs have a lot of regulations. So it's really proving the authenticity of a real project, of a real digital asset, and that this is far away from being a scam or something like, I don't know, like many other projects out there, which are just basically money grabbing machines from people. This is not what we want to do here. We want to create a project based in transparency and the opportunity that we can share this with so many people that can benefit from our project. So we are creating, listen to this, the first ever token that is dedicated to the deaf community. And so what we're going to do is we're issuing an NFT on one of the most innovative blockchains in Europe, which is called Evodeaf.io. And this NFT is going to be split into 1 billion fractions. But listen to this, because this is where this gets really interesting. We're going to be selling in the next two phases, which is private sale and pre-sale. We're going to be selling only 64 million tokens. And may I repeat that so you get it really clear? We're going to be selling only 64 million tokens, okay? And as I said, the holders of these NFT tokens will own the company's intellectual property. So we've created two coins in the company. One is our stable coin, which is Evodeaf coin, and it's worth 1 cent of a euro. And then we created our NFT token, which is Evodeaf token, and it's worth 35 cents, okay, of a euro. So Basically, these two phases that I told you about, the pre-sale and the private sale phases, are divided into two mini phases each. Okay, so it's basically 4 mini phases. And the thing that you need to understand is the best time ever to be a part of this project is right now, because we literally just launched these first phase. Okay, guys, and the tokens are going fast. And why are they going fast? Because instead of buying them at 35 cents, you can get them now at a discounted price of only 5 cents. So that means that whatever you are investing right now is going to multiply by 7, whatever value it is, because you're getting something that is 35 cents and you're getting it for only 5 cents. Okay, so every phase is going to we're going to be selling 16 million tokens. Okay, if you multiplied 16 million times 4, then you're going to see that the 64 millions that I just told you. So it's 16 millions per each phase. So in this phase, basically, per every 100 euros package that you are buying, you are going to be receiving 2,000 Evodeaf tokens. Okay, so I say this number 100 euros just because that's the minimum investment, but other than that, you can invest whatever you want to invest. If you want to invest 10, 20, 30, 50,000 euros, then that's up to you. Okay. Obviously, the more tokens you're gonna have, the more profits you're going to receive when we split our profits, okay, which we're going to be talking about that in a minute. Then the coolest thing about these phase also is that you are going to get 50% of your tokens unfrozen after the 12th month, and then 5% from month 13th, and so on. And the duration of this phase is approximately 30 days. And why I say approximately is because if the tokens sell out before that time, which is probably what's going to happen, then let's say we launch today and in a week the tokens are sold, then we're immediately going to the next phase. Okay, so that's why you guys need to hurry up and get our tokens right now as I speak. So the second phase is going to be really interesting, because so now instead of getting the token at 5 cents, you're going to get it at 8 cents, guys. So that's a nice increase. Okay, so instead of getting 2,000 Evodeaf tokens for every package of 100 euros, you're now going to get 1,250. So that's an interesting reduction right there. Okay. And instead of getting 50% unfrozen, you're going to get 25% unfrozen after month number 12. And then from the 13th month and so on, you're going to get 5% unfrozen. And that stage is going to also take approximately 30 days. Stages number 3 and number 4 are basically the same. All you need to understand is that instead of getting the token at 5 cents or 8 cents, like in the first and second stage, on the third stage, you're going to get it for 10 cents. Okay, so it's double whatever you can buy right now. So as I said, guys, right now is the best opportunity for you guys to get the token. And then after the 12th month, you're going to be getting 5% of your tokens unfrozen. On the fourth one, you're not going to get it at 5, nor at 8, nor at 10 cents. It's going to be at 18 cents. Okay. And it's still, guys, it's still going to be a great opportunity for people who come in that stage as well, because as you can see, these stages are both 60 days. So for a person that is coming on that last stage and seeing their capital basically duplicate in a couple of months, it's still a really good deal. But the biggest opportunity, and this is why, if you know about people that is already in the crypto world, basically what they do is they buy the tokens when they are in these pre-sale phases, And when the tokens launch into the market, these people, a lot of them become millionaire because it's a great opportunity, you know, to capitalize fast. And so, as I said, we're going to be listed hopefully by the beginning of the next year at 35 cents. So guys, again, like this is the best opportunity to be a part of this project. And so I told you that when you get our tokens, you become a co-owner of our company, of our intellectual property. So what does that mean? So that means that by holding our NFT, you will receive profits from all the money that is coming into the company. And you might be asking yourself, so what money, Dr. Wendy? So the revenue will be coming from the sale of subscriptions, people downloading our app, affiliations, the e-commerce, the new tokenization, the gaming section, the training courses, all the projects that I showed you earlier, they're going to produce money. But then the different thing from this company, and maybe you've been a part of other companies, that they say, well, yeah, we're going to be splitting our profits among the shareholders or the token holders. And then basically you have to wait throughout the year so that they will, you know, split the dividends or whatever it is. And then it turns out that at the end of the year, the management didn't do good work with the company's money. And it turns out there's just only a little bit of money to be split into thousands and thousands of co-owners. And you basically get a 0.0000003 per every share or per every token that you have. And so this is not the case here, guys. What we really wanted to do, as I said, we wanted to do a very different project, and a project based in transparency, and that will return that trust to the people that have been hurt by other companies. So what we created when we create the tokenization for, or the tokenomics for our token, is for every cent that comes into the company from these projects that I mentioned, 20% of those profits are going to go to the people, and then the company is going to operate in the 80% of the money that comes into the company. Okay, so that's something really cool, something that you really need to keep in mind, because you are going to be receiving money basically on a daily basis in this project. As soon as the money comes in, it immediately splits again. 20% goes to the people and 80% of the money comes into the company. And that's something that not even our CEO can change because the blockchain is already programmed like that. And you know that blockchain transactions are transparent. So as I said, as just, you know, a project building transparency. And this is again one of our best, our first demos, I'm sorry. And so as of right now, we are working in developing the facial expressions of our token, of our avatar. And so it's really cool. It really excites me when I see this, and to think about, you know, all the benefits and how we're going to be changing the life of these people, you know, that we literally have been segregating for, I don't even want to say like decades, because we literally have segregated them through all mankind history. And one of the coolest things, guys, is about a month ago, we participated at the Blockchain Week in Rome. And these are some of our partners that are working with us to develop this avatar, all the logos that you can see in the lower part of the screen. We have more than 200 people working with us in this project to make it a reality. And so the coolest thing was when we participated in the Blockchain Week in Rome, which is one of the biggest expos in the world about cryptos, NFT projects, metaverse projects, just name it. And not only private users like me and you were approaching our stand because they wanted to know what it is that we were doing, but the CEOs of other companies were approaching Francesco, asking them, hey, when is your avatar going to be ready? Because we want to have it in our company. Because as I said, guys, there's at least 5% of the world's population right now that is deaf. So these are millions of people and they move millions of dollars in the economy throughout the year. But we have segregated them from every business because we don't know how to communicate with them. So it's really, and every man or woman that I've talked to that has to do with the corporate vision of this, they go crazy about it because, and especially like you guys that are in UK, a couple of weeks ago, we had a meeting with this multi-millionaire guy, which is he sold his last company in $25 million. And he was so impressed of what we could do on a corporate basis with this project. And he said like, hey, I'm in a group where there's like 40 or 50 of the CEOs of the biggest companies in the world. And I'm pretty sure if I bring this project to them, they're going to go crazy about it, because in England, there is a law that is called duty of care. And basically that makes mandatory for all the corporations out there to at least take 3% of their employees. They need to have some sort of disability. So many of these companies hire people with disabilities because they have this mandate on them. But it's sad that sometimes they don't even know, how to communicate with them or what they can do, but it is because they have these missing tools so that they can communicate with them. So these on a corporate basis, guys, is going to be huge. You can share this opportunity and earn money as well with us. We didn't want to create a multi-level company because of all the things that I explained to you earlier and why I didn't want to be a part of it. But when I saw what we are creating here, I could do nothing else but to fall in love with it. Why? Because if we would do an MLM and we would have to split 50% of whatever money comes into the company in a compensation plan that is going to be 7, 8, or 9 levels deep, that would only make our project longer. And you already know what's going on in the world. There's a lot of companies right now that are standby, or which processes were slowed down because of the pandemic or the war. Like, they're using all kind of excuses. What in the world? Can you guys still hear me? I got a pop up in my...
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, it's good. We can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got a pop-up saying that I had been logged out from the Zoom room, so I thought you guys couldn't see me or hear me anymore. That was scary. So going back to what I was saying. So if we would do that, then it would take longer, and with all the crazy stuff that is going in the world right now, then we didn't want that. We wanted this project to be sort of a short-term opportunity for everybody. It's an opportunity where everybody could, capitalize in a period of 1 year. So we created a 2 levels deep referral program, which basically you're going to be earning 20%, and it's going to be divided 10% on your first level and then 10% on your second level. And on your second level, it's going to be split 5% is going to be paid in commissions, and then 5% is going to be paid in Evodeaf tokens, which is really cool because you are going to be increasing your co-ownership in the project. So that's really cool. And I'm gonna be wrapping up real soon this meeting. But one thing that I really want to mention is that we are looking for you guys. So as you guys can see, we are literally just getting started with this project. So we are looking for pioneers like you that want to become the first ambassador in your country or the state or the region, wherever it is that you are watching these presentation from. Because if you understand these projects, then you know also the importance of being the first ones on your geographic area. So how can you become an ambassador? It's really easy. You only pay 39 euros for the company to make a personalized web page for you. So you're gonna have your own page with your picture, your biography, and the links to your social media so people can contact you directly if they want to be a part of this project. And basically that's going to give you the opportunity to be among the first people who receives the information of the company, the latest news. And whenever we need for a person to, I don't know, let's say the National Hospital in England wants to get our avatar. So we're gonna go and see, okay, so who is our ambassador in these countries? So we're gonna see, oh, okay, so Nick is one of our ambassadors there. So we're gonna send Nick so he can present the project to the hospital. And then if the hospital buys the avatar, then he is going to get a juicy commission from the company. And may I say that this word juicy commission actually comes from our CEO, Francesco Cannone, because he said, Wendy, I really want to pay well the people who is helping us to spread the word of these beautiful projects. So guys, I mean, there's so many ways that we can make money with our company. And so guys, just to wrap up, there's some crazy, amazing news coming. So as you have seen, we have already included in our back office the beautiful country of England. And a couple of weeks ago, we also had the inclusion of the first Latin American countries in our back office as well. The first one was my beautiful Costa Rica, which is my country of origin. And from this week on, the payments with Bitcoins are going to be available. And one of the coolest things from our baby team that we are just getting started is that in our first week, we already had ambassadors for the UK, America, Spain, Costa Rica, and Mexico, and Honduras, and Ireland are coming really soon. So that's also something really, really, really cool. And of course, we also had the inclusion of the US in our platform 2 weeks ago. So that's also really cool, as well as the countries of Argentina, Colombia, Ecuador, El Salvador, Honduras, Mexico, and Peru, and Panama is also coming on board. Guys, hurry up, because as I speak, and this is a number from last week, but as I speak, this number is increasing. I think we should be around 65% or even more, probably 70-ish% of the tokens that are that have already been sold. So don't procrastinate, don't leave it for the last minute, because remember, you have to go through a KYC, and that could take 24, 48 hours. So as I said, don't procrastinate. And guys, we have 2 promotions that are starting this week. This is our first Evodeaf contest for summer 2022. And the first one is for those of you who want to become ambassadors. We have a promo for the best ambassador. Basically, this applies to your direct members only, so the people that is in your first line. And to enter the ranking, all you have to do is to get 20 members to buy a package of 500 euros. Okay, so 20 people on your first line who buys 500 euros packages. Okay, and the person must have applied to become an ambassador, and these promo is going to be available until July the 31st, guys. So we have the whole month to do this. Okay, and the prizes are really cool. So the third prize is going to get 2,000 Evodeaf tokens. The second prize is going to get 5,000 Evodeaf tokens. And then the first place is going to get 50,000 Evodeaf coins plus 10,000 Evodeaf tokens. So that's the first one. And the second one, that's going to be for basically anyone out there that wants to do this. And it's the prize for the top producer. So again, it's going to apply only for your direct downline. So the people on your first line or on your first level. And to enter the ranking, you need to basically produce a volume of 50,000 euros, guys. So on your first line, 50,000 euros of volume, okay? And as I said, it's open to everybody. But the prices here are a little bit crazy, guys, because so the third place is going to get 10,000 Evodeaf tokens. The second prize is going to get 20,000 Evodeaf tokens. And for the first prize, guys, I want you to get your calculator out because I'm going to have you do the mathematics here, because the first place is going to get 50,000 Evodeaf tokens. Now, someone in the chat, please tell me how much is 50,000 times 35 cents. Can someone tell me how much is 50,000 times 0.35? Like, I already know how much money that is, but I want y'all to be aware of how much money it is. How much money it is if we get that first prize?
16 to 17,000 euros.
17,500.
Exactly, 17,500 euros. So for those of us who are in America, it's almost 18,500 and $18,500. That's crazy, guys. I mean, it's such an amazing opportunity for those of you who really want to do these project with us. It's an amazing opportunity to capitalize a lot of money in a short period of time. So guys, I'm going to close this meeting just by saying that if you are thinking that this project is only for deaf people, then think twice, because this picture that you're seeing, I know it's in Spanish. I'll probably I'll try to find one in English as well. But so what this article is saying, that in the next 30 years, 1/3 of the world's population is going to be deaf. And this is if you see the highlighted blue line in there, that's the statistics from the World Health Organization. And so why is it that we are seeing such an increase of deaf people? It is because there's two of the main causes for a person to become deaf. One of it is aging, and then the other one is accidents or using earphones or hearing to loud music. And so if you think of it, our kids, our teenagers, our young adults, like all these generations are growing now with their earphones. Like last week, I was watching a video from, and just by the way, guys, that's my social media, my phone number, if you want to contact me, if you have any questions or anything. But I just want to wrap up with this. I was watching a video from Eric Worre. So I'm in a group that is called GoPro Accelerator. And if you know who Eric Worre is, he is basically the biggest MLM legend out there. And then there's this group that is called GoPro Accelerator, where the biggest networkers in the world are a part of this group, like people who are making 6 or 7 figures a year. And so he was sharing with us a video of his new private jet. And I was because now, so when you start learning about things like this, then you start becoming aware of things. And one of the things that really called my attention was the fact that, so he was basically showing the inner side of the airplane. So on the front part, there's like regular seats, but then in the back of the airplane, he's got a few beds in it. So the kids were sleeping. And as he pointed the camera to the kids were sleeping with earphones, all of them. They had these big earphones. And I'm like, how can you sleep with something like that on your head? Like, it was so, it looked uncomfortable. But what really made me think is that, guys, our kids are sleeping with earphones. So what do you think that is going to do to the deaf community in 30, 40, 50 years from now? It's really something that we should be educating everybody out there, because if we have the issue right now, imagine in 30 years when 1/3 of the population is going to be deaf. And Manjula was giving the example last week of how she has a friend that turned 57 and out of the blues just started losing her hearing abilities, and she has basically become deaf out of the blues all of the sudden, you know. So guys, we never know until something happens. We never know until we start aging. We never know until literally life happens. So as I said earlier, this is the opportunity right now to, you know, support a project like this, now that we are young, now that we are well able to hear. God forbid that any of us will need our avatar in the future, but if we do, I hope that you guys are really making profits from it and not that you're gonna have to pay for it. It's the opportunity, as my dear upline Maurizio said one day, it's the opportunity of becoming part of a project that is going to be remembered by many generations to come. And so with that, I want to open the opportunity for you guys to make questions or any comments. If you have any doubts, you can either open your mic or just write it in the chat. Or Maurizio, I don't know if you want to add something else. Maurizio, vuoi aggiungere qualcosa?
Dr. Wendy?
Hey, Patrick.
I can't put on my video. My battery is just about nearly flat. So what I was wondering was, do you have that PDF or the instructions for buying the tokens?
I'm waiting on Francesco to send it to me, because as I told you yesterday, our back office was just recently changed this week. So everything is new. And so I'm just waiting for him to send me the tutorial so I can translate to English and send it to you immediately.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, the other thing was that I got when I was trying to go through KYC, I got a note back from the company asking for my income, evidence of pensions.
Yeah, no worries. I know that that was an email that was basically sent to everybody, but it should have been sent only to the people who are making investments greater than 20K, or I mean 10K. So you don't have to worry about it. That's fine.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Nick, I saw you open your camera. Do you want to say something?
No. I just wanted to be part of the group.
Welcome.
I was feeling lonely being covered up. Yeah. It's nice to see you guys. And it's a shame. I've invited a number of people from India and from, I think they all couldn't get in, and I couldn't get in touch with them. But are you, would you be, I'll text you after this call, maybe we can arrange something for them.
Of course, yeah. You already know. No, that's no problem.
Of course, of course. And she says with a smile, how nice is that? Yeah.
All right, guys. So
Okay.
I don't see any questions in the chat. Let me double check just in case, but if not, and I think we can wrap it up, and then we can arrange a meeting, of course, for India and the rest of the world, whatever it is that you are. That's no problem. All right, guys. So take care, you all. God bless you. Stay safe and blessed. Love you. Bye-bye.
Take care. See you.
Ciao,
Thank you, Wendy.
Mauricio. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.